Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be looking at my windswept style portulacaria afra. Just give you a quick update, maybe do a little pruning just to clean it up a little bit. I mentioned in a couple of my other videos about the aphids, and they were kind enough to visit this one too. And you can see some remnants of them. We've got some yellow leaves, losing some leaves a little bit. Some leaves down in here. I'll see if I can get you a close-up shot of this top area just so you can kind of see what's going on. I'll try to put that up here in the corner. So I've done another video on this one, and I'll try to link it down below. So you can maybe go take a look at that one first, just see the first time I introduced this tree on my channel. Kind of went through it pretty thorough, explained the design, and did some pruning on it and things like that. So today is not going to be near as long. I just wanted to take a look at it up close to see what kind of damage, if any, there is. And like I said, just kind of inspect it, clean it up a little bit, and see what my friends, the aphids, did to it. So first, I like to keep the trunk clean. So all these new sprouts and shoots that are popping up, if you can see this, I'll try to get in close here. All these shoots along the trunk, I'm just going to take those back, get rid of those, because I don't want the tree sending energy to those. I want it to go elsewhere, so we'll just trim those back. So we'll just continue on doing that. It just kind of shows you how vigorous these things are. There, everywhere you make a cut where there was a branch, it wants to continue growing that branch. So you just have to stay on it and knock them back a little bit. I'm just going to take some of these back just to continue the little green little pad areas. This one here is growing back towards the front and the side. Don't really want that, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that one. This one's going back. We'll get rid of that. And I mentioned it in the other video, but the plan is to have everything flowing off this way to the left towards where I'm at. So anything that's going opposite of that, it kind of kills the windswept illusion. So I'll take those back just to keep the direction kind of flowing off this way. And I do have some wires you can see on here kind of helping these branches, but then I do some directional pruning just to leave the branches going in the direction that I want them to go. Just continuing to take a look at it. This area up in here looks really congested. I may need to bring some of these branches down a little bit. Because I want to maintain that. I want to try to create some airspace through here just so you can see the individual branches. But that area is kind of closing up and getting a little congested. Go ahead and get around to the back here. We've got some longer shoots. Just take those back. Like I said, today's not a real heavy prune day. Didn't need a lot. I just really more just getting it out to inspect it to see what was going on with the aphids. And I do have some leaf drop. Part of that could be from the aphids or my treatment for them. I use cold pressed neem oil and soap and water just to really take care of them. And it seems to have worked. I mean, you can see some on here, but they're dead. Just trying to clean them up a little bit. There's some more of these shoots that are coming up on the trunk. And this branch here, I let grow out, and I kind of explained in the last video, I just wanted to fill in this space back here, but this one's getting a little too long. It's running into this other branch, so I'll go ahead and take that back some. Let that continue to fill out. I'll take it back a little bit more. There we go. Let's take off some of these taller shoots and get rid of some of the aphid remnants. But you can tell it definitely doesn't look as healthy as it did in the other video, but these things are pretty resilient. Once you don't let if you don't let the aphids really take over, they'll usually bounce back just fine. That's why I like this this variety, the portulacaria afra, because they can take a lot and still bounce back. This is a scar that I mentioned in the last video. I was letting some of this growth continue to grow here just to kind of help heal that scar, and it's hardened up now, and that'll eventually callus over, and it'll just add some more interest to the trunk, and you won't even be able to tell that it was there. Let's go ahead and take this off now. And I started this channel 2 or 3 months ago, and I've been taking care of trees for several years, 10, 15 years. But since I started the channel, one of the added benefits for me is just having a record of the trees as I work on them, so I can kind of refer back to it and kind of remember what I did, because I've got several, and sometimes it's hard to know what you did each time, and if you made a change to it in the design or the direction, it's kind of hard to remember what you were thinking several months ago when you worked on it last. But now I can go back and kind of refresh my memory where I was at, what I was thinking at the time, to see if my thoughts change. So it's kind of cool. So I'm glad I started the channel, and I hope you guys are enjoying the journey with me. Just continuing to refine some of these up here. Just take them back so they'll grow back stronger and thicker. But overall, I'm seeing new growth coming back. Where it lost some leaves, it's really, and as you can tell, all the new sprouts along the trunk that I've taken off, it's really bouncing back. I think it'll be just fine. like I said, I mean, I've heard some people describe these as bulletproof, and you still have to care for them, but they can take a lot. Just have some more shoots coming out here that I'll take care of, because I do like seeing the trunks and the branches. I just think it adds interest where you can kind of see the shape of the trunk and the branch, and then some green pads throughout. I'm looking at this wire here. It looks like it might be cutting into the trunk, so I may have to take that off. Let's see what I've got going on here. Little piece there. And that's another reason to kind of look at your trees often, because I wasn't really planning on doing any wire work on this today, but now that I'm seeing that biting in, it looks like I'm going to have to address it and take some of that wire off, just to keep it from, I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to get in closer here. You can kind of see that wire's biting in. So I just snipped it here, and then I'm going to unwrap it the best I can. And if you find it too hard to unwrap, you can just continue snipping it up, and then the little pieces will fall off. Try to keep my hand out of the way, but sometimes it's impossible, because I've got to get them both in there to get a hold of the branch and the wire, so I can support the branch and get the wire out of there. Okay. There we go. You can see that a little bit, left a little bit of a scar, but not too bad. And it kept the shape, so that's good. I think I might go ahead and just remove this wire too, and then eventually I think I'll let it rest for a while, and next time I look at it, I may see if these branches hold their shape or if they spring back into their original shape. Then I'll possibly put more wire on in the future next time I look at it, but for now I think I'll just unwire it. There we go. Turn these shoots back a little bit. And this wire here, the thick wire, looks like it may be biting into. So we've got an end piece up here. This one's a little harder to unwrap because it's so thick, but we'll give it a shot. This had to be pretty thick to bend this branch over. I've got it overlapped a little bit, so we'll go ahead and snip these. straighten that out, and we can use that again on a future project. Go ahead and continue taking these off. See if I can unbend this one. And there it's starting to move that branch too much, so I'll just go ahead and snip it off. And then I'll just snip these pieces off up here. Like I said, you snip them in small pieces and they'll just fall off and not risk breaking the branch by trying to unwrap a piece of wire that's thick. Let's see if I can get in there with my pliers and get a hold of it. It's a stubborn little piece. I think I'm going to have to just trim it off. There we go. Got a little piece of wire here on this back branch. Go ahead and unwrap that. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I looked at this today because this wire was definitely needing to come off. Before it did any major damage. I can go ahead and take all the wire off, and that way I know that next time I look at it, I'm starting with a clean slate as far as wire goes. And then I can just concentrate on rewiring instead of unwiring again. Got one more piece up here on this branch. Snip that off, little pieces, and hopefully I can get that to fall off. One more little piece here. There we go. I think that's all of it. Let me give it a quick look at. Nope, here's some down here on these branches. This is a lot thinner, so it's coming off a lot easier. And this is something that just takes time. If you get in a hurry, you could possibly damage a branch, break it off or something. So it's always best just to take your time, and if you don't get it all done in one working session, not that big a deal. You can always take a break and come back later that day, the next day, or whatever. Like I said before, bonsai for me is something I do to relax, so shouldn't have to hurry to get something done. Because to me, if you have to hurry and rush and feel pressure to get something done, it kind of takes the enjoyment out of it. So I just take my time, work on it, and relax. Got some shoots here that are growing up pretty tall, so we'll take those back. There's one in here. It'll help thin out some of that. And this branch here is kind of drooped down a little bit since I took the wire off. Take some of this off. I'll reduce the weight of the branch by taking some of the leaves off. But I still may need to put some wire on that in the future to bring it back up. I just kind of want to let it sit for a month or two just to see where the branches settle in, and then kind of take another look at how I want to restyle it. In the future, because the eventual goal would be to let it exist without wire on it. You know, once I get the branches kind of going in the right direction, kind of establish the style, and then kind of manage it from there with little or no wire. This is going to be growing the wrong way, so we'll take that off. And I'm leaving this clump here for now. There is a scar where there's a big trunk, big branch underneath there, so I'm going to leave that there for now to let it continue to grow and heal. Just clean these up a little bit more. But I think that cleaned it up a little bit for today. Like I said, I ended up doing more work to this tree than I thought I was going to do. I wasn't planning on doing any wire work, but saw that it needed done, so I went ahead and attacked it. It doesn't look too bad. There's a couple wire wounds, but they'll heal. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm glad the aphids didn't do too much damage. It's still looking pretty healthy. It'll fill back in now that I got the aphids taken care of. We'll get all these dead leaves out of here. So we start with a clean slate. And this is probably due for a repot, which I'll probably do next spring or summer once they go back outside where they're growing really, really strong. I'll be sure to update you guys on that when repotting season hits. Kind of an exciting time. You spend all your time looking at the top of the tree, and then you get to get down underneath and see what's going on. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'll continue and clean that up here a little bit, but as far as the work on this and the update today, I think we'll leave it there. I'll give you a quick spin around just so you can kind of see where it's at. So there's the front. There's the right side. There's the back. Left side. And back to the front. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.